Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I just wanted to come today really quickly to talk about the shooting that happened at Mother Emanuel, the church in Charleston, South Carolina. I just got back from church myself. As a matter of fact, I still have my church dress on. We Southern Christian folks go to church. And we know what that midweek Wednesday night church service is all about. As a matter of fact, I was just at the church, I was at Wednesday night church service, the same night that the shooting happened. Um, the difference was I got to go home. We as humans have this, I don't know if it's a defense mechanism, but it's this almost grotesque way of explaining away bad things that happen, explaining away whenever there's a disease or whenever there's a bad occurrence or an accident. We want to find the thing that makes it different for us. We like to extract that little part of the story that would make it not happen to us. For instance, if you have a friend who is diagnosed with cancer, lung cancer, for instance, what is the first question that you ask whenever anyone is diagnosed with lung cancer? You ask, oh, were they a smoker? And then when you get the answer, oh, yeah, they smoked like 2 packs a day for 30 years. Then you're like, oh, okay, well, that's why. Yeah, that's why. Or if you hear of someone who had a bad accident, a rollover accident, and they were ejected from the car and they died on the scene, you always ask, well, did they have their seatbelt on? And when you hear, no, they weren't wearing their seatbelt, then you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's why. You know, we've had a series of racially charged events that have occurred over the last year and a half or even 2 years. And with every one of those stories that we've heard, from Trayvon Martin all the way to the most recent one, which was the unarmed bikini-clad young girl who was wrestled to the ground, who had her face thrust into the ground by the police officer. There's always that little piece of the story that people try to extract out and make that the reason that it happened to them and that it could not, should not, will not happen to us. For instance, in the Trayvon Martin case, well, he was, in a hoodie, he was dressed as a thug, he was in a neighborhood where the neighbors weren't used to seeing him, he was just, he doesn't ordinarily live with his dad, he was just staying with his dad for a little while, and had he just answered George Zimmerman's questions, then, or he hadn't allegedly lunged for his gun, then that wouldn't have happened. Or with the Eric Garner case, the I Can't Breathe gentleman who was choke held to death by the police officers, people might say, well, he was selling cigarettes illegally. If he hadn't been doing that, then, that wouldn't have happened. This South Carolinian gentleman who was shot by the police officer in his back as he was running away, pulled over by a traffic stop, before a traffic stop. And, of course, we take out, well, he was running away. Why didn't you stop? If you just stopped, you wouldn't have shot him. And then with the girl, the bikini-clad girl, well, he told him to sit down. Had she just sat down, this wouldn't have happened. I think the thing about this story, besides it's just being heinous at face value, the thing that bothers our collective psyche, the thing that bites at our communal core, is that we can't make sense of it. There is no little thing that we can extract out and say, well, that can't happen to me. These people woke up on a Wednesday morning and went about their regular routine. They went to church. They saw a visitor who came in. They welcomed that visitor with open arms, fellowshipped with that visitor, probably prayed with that visitor. And at the end of an hour, he stood up and shot 9 out of 12 of them to death. This was the place where it was supposed to be sacred. You go to church when you're running from the terrible things that happen in the world. This is where you come for solace, for peace, to reinstate your faith, to grab hold of hope. This was where they went. They did nothing wrong. That's what's so bothersome about this. There's nothing I can take out because I was at a Wednesday night service. We had a visitor. The difference was I went home that evening. It could have been me. It could have been any one of us. And I have no, pat answer. I have no pithy conclusion. I don't have any answers, any solutions. I mean, there are some people who just say, strap everybody up with a gun. Everybody gets a gun. The 5-year-old, the mother board, the usher board. I don't know if that's the answer. Security detail, metal detectors at the door. I don't know. And I think at this point I'm just rambling. But I just had to get this off my chest. It's sad. It's sad. It's so bad. But I'm hoping that maybe somebody out there can come up with a solution. Somebody out there has an answer. I don't know. Anyway, try to have a good day. Peace and love.